So Google Colaboratory is a tool that is provided by Google for machine learning education and research so that more people who may not have high-end GPUs can still play around with deep learning. And it's a brilliant tool. I really appreciate Google for providing this phenomenal facility. And Google Colaboratory is literally a Jupyter notebook environment, which is like our IPython notebooks, and it works very well on. And you can access this by just using desktop versions of Chrome and Firefox. It is free to use. This is a nice FAQ page about Google Colaboratory. I'll provide a link to this in the description section. And the way it works is this: any notebook, any IPython notebook that you do here is eventually stored into your Google Drive, and you can of course download it and things like that. And thankfully it has both Python 2 and Python 3, and we have been mostly using Python 3 throughout this course. So it's a very nice toolkit. It's a very nice online tool actually, and you can download your Jupyter notebooks, all of it at the end of it. So don't worry about it. It's a very nice FAQ explaining how to use Google Colaboratory, but I'll show you a simple example. So you just have to go to collab.research.google.com. I've provided the link to this also. So if you just do collab.research.google.com, right, it'll just take you to it'll take you to this interface where you can say I want to do a new notebook, okay, or you can say I want a. So this is a notebook that I created a while ago, right? This is an untitled, or if you have other notebooks, you can just open it. This untitled 0.ipython is a notebook that I created, or else you can just go and click on new notebook. You'll get a new notebook, right? So once you get a new notebook like this. Okay, so let me actually create a new notebook just for simplicity. A new Python 3 notebook. Okay, I've created a new notebook here. Okay, it's taking a couple of seconds to create the notebook for me. And Google actually uses Google's own compute resources to make this happen, right? So now I have like an IPython notebook interface, right? So let's take a couple of lines of code, right? So I have these 2 lines of code here. Let me just copy them. Just a second. I'll just copy these 2 lines of code, and okay, actually I created an IPython untitled 0.ipython notebook here. Let's just do it. This is what you'll get. So you can start writing your code here. For example, here, what am I saying here? I'm literally saying from TensorFlow, import MNIST data. So I'm trying to load MNIST data here. Okay, I'm literally from TensorFlow.examples.tutorials.mnist, import input data. And input data, I'm trying to read the data set to a variable called MNIST. That's all I'm doing. And once I'm ready with this, I just go and click on this. It will take a few seconds to run this code and generate output for me. Okay, and this is literally like your IPython notebook, but which is running not on your CPU, not on your GPUs, but on Google's infrastructure. So let's see what it's saying. It's giving you a bunch of warnings, blah blah blah, but it's at the end of the day doing what you want it to do. Okay, if you want to create a new cell now, it's very simple. You just say plus code. It creates a new cell. Okay, you can write your code and again execute it. Okay, we'll show you some examples of this, but this is exactly like your IPython notebook. So this is your standard IPython notebook, right? This is an IPython notebook that we have, which is running on my laptop or desktop right now. While this is literally the same interface, slightly different interface, but very similar, which is running on Google Research's cloud. Okay, cloud is basically a bunch of computers tied together over a network, and Google is providing this free of cost for research and education, right? So before you buy your GPUs, I recommend you try out some of these algorithms, some of the code that we will show you on Google Colab or on your desktop, on your laptop. If first try to run it on your laptop or desktop. If it takes too much time, just run it on Google Colab. It's a phenomenal tool, and you can store your IPython notebooks that you get here are default stored in your Google Drive. And this is the account of Applied AI course. So in your own account, it's stored on your Google Drive. Very neat. So that you can share it with others, you can download it, all of that. Very easy. I really love Google Colab. For those of you who may not have high-end desktops and high-end laptops with GPUs, Google Colab is a phenomenal tool that I strongly recommend you to use. And actually what I've noticed is if you have a simple CPU, instead of running it on your own laptop, it's faster to actually run it on Google Colab, because Google Colab has extremely powerful CPUs and GPUs in their cloud infrastructure.